everyone, Andrew Praver here with Great Expectations Realty, and it is Monday, so that means it's time for What's Up Ocala. Today, I actually have a guest for you guys. I'm sure you're pretty bored with just listening to me go on and on, so actually I've got my friend here, Jeff from Union Home Mortgage, and he is going to talk about all the crazy stuff happening in the lending industry. So Jeff, you want to go ahead and tell everyone who you are and what you do and all of that?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. One of the things myself, I'm the branch manager of Union Home Mortgage here in Ocala, Florida. We have a great team. Myself, David Drozdowski, Mike Zizek, Pepper Kinzer, John Celebre. Really a lot of history, a lot of knowledge in our branch. There's been a huge market change over the last year. It seemed like everybody was buying a house, refinancing.
Oh, yeah.
Now, people are still buying houses, but it's, the affordability has really changed. With the, interest rates almost doubling. And then, as far as for the refinance side, everybody pretty much got all that out of the way in the past couple of years. So we're not seeing a whole lot of refinancing except for those that need to get some cash out. If you need cash out, you've got equity in your home, it's still a great option. It's still better than going to the bank, getting a second loan. It's one of those things that we can help you with. But yeah, huge change over the last year.
It just seems like the changes could just keep rolling in. We thought we knew what was going on up until, beginning month or two of 2020. And then it feels like it's been a roller coaster ride since. And honestly, it feels more normal, a normal market now. I've been talking to some of the agents that are fairly new to the game. They've only been in as a realtor maybe for a year or two, and they're like, okay, what's going on? What is this? And I'm like, this is normal. This feels like a normal market to me, or there's actually negotiation between the buyer and the seller. It's just been crazy. So
yeah, definitely seeing a little bit more time, with those houses on the market.
Yes.
I would get an email from a client saying, hey, before we've even started the pre-approval, say, hey, I'm going to go look at this house with Andrea. And, well, Andrea will say, hey, you need to get pre-approved. So,
yeah.
And then before we even get everything done that day, there's already a pending offer.
Oh, I'm not even joking. The buyers were getting pummeled. And I felt so bad. Just everybody's like, oh, you as a realtor must be, just really hating this. The good times are gone. I'm like, what good times? There was no good times. It was, having to sell the same buyer 8 different houses because the first 7 offers didn't go through because there was 20 or 30 offers on it already. And it was like, I think I will, I think I won't, we want only cash. It was brutal.
And then really brutal. Like with that same buyer, if you're working with that person for especially over the last 3 months, their buying power has shifted.
That's
and
true.
The market, yes, we're seeing houses starting to maybe level out a little bit in some areas, but that $300,000 house is still $300,000 as it was 3 months ago. And now their pre-approval might not be as strong. They might be qualified. Going into that, they were qualified for $350,000, and now with the rate changes and everything, maybe it's $275,000 depending on where they're at. But that that's one of the big things that what we're pushing is our lock and shop program.
What is that?
So we're able to underwrite the file and lock it for 90 days, and so that they can go shop. So they have 90 days. They can go lock. We can lock their rate in. That way they don't have to worry about their rate going up. So that's a big thing, is especially because the Fed has announced that they're still gonna increase the rates a little bit over the rest of this year. So ultimately that will probably affect mortgage interest rates. So at least they're locked in today. It gives them really 60 to 70 days to go find a house, put in multiple offers, find something, get under contract, and we can close it.
Yeah, because if they don't lock it, they may possibly lose the house that they pick out, because by the time they go to pick it out, they're no longer qualified for that amount.
Yep. Yeah. So 3 months is a lot of time.
Yeah, it really is, especially with as much as they're fluctuating right now. In fact, it did dip down a little bit. That's a little bit of good news. It dipped down last Friday? What is it doing right now?
Last Friday we saw a little bit of pullback. I mean, a little bit being,
Little bit,
we saw it. It really depends on the borrower. But as far as a whole, pretty much about 1/8% to 1/4%, depending on how much they're putting down versus the credit scores and everything. But definitely, I mean, that little amount can make a huge difference in making or breaking a deal.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you were looking to do a rate lock, like, do it when it takes one of those little dips, just because then it's only going to go up. I mean, we know it's going to go up. We've known for years it's going to go up. And now it's actually happening, and everybody's like so shocked. I don't know if we'll ever see.
I don't know if we'll ever see mid-2s again.
No,
it's always speculation. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. But I think
we're going to see double digits.
I think, possibly.
He's like, no.
I hope not.
I hope not either. But yeah, we just keep kind of trekking upwards. So
and a lot of the buyers now, when we talk to them, what we're doing is we're trying to get them focused on, buy the house that you love, marry the house, date the rate. As far as the rate, yes, it seems extremely high because of where we've been the last couple of years. But as far as the last 30 years in mortgage lending, they're actually right. They fall into place with what's been going on.
I was just talking about that because I saw, somebody was giving some rather bad advice online, which drives me nuts. I know I should stay off of Facebook, y'all. I just need to stay off of it. But, he was giving some bad advice because he was a landlord that was actually renting houses out. So he was encouraging people to rent because, the rates are so high. And I'm like, no, that's still not accurate, because rent, you're literally flushing everything away. You get nothing. Plus there's no stability to it. You can get, the owner of the house, no matter how many years you've been there, can instantly say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and sell this house. You're going to have to find somewhere else to live. Good luck. And there's no stability.
Right. It's 100% interest rate when you're renting.
Oh yeah, exactly. You're paying a mortgage. You're just paying somebody else's.
That's right.
So, that, I did notice that. But then I went back, and back in 2006, I mean, we all saw 2006 was like, whoo, all the houses were going like crazy and everything was so expensive. And, oh man, you bought a house in 2006. I bet you paid through the nose and all this stuff. But I looked at it, really pulled the numbers. And those houses that are currently selling for $389,000, $400,000, they sold those in 2006 for $200,000, and the interest rate in 2006 was almost exactly what it is today.
Yep.
So those people that stayed there maybe waited until that 2% interest rate refinanced at that rate, and then kept going. They've made hundreds of thousands of dollars just by doing it. And they bought when the market was high with a high interest rate.
And the thing is, we feel like rates are going to come back down.
Eventually.
Even
everything
if it's
goes up
down.
and down.
Right. And it depends. If it comes back down to, 4%, the difference between 5 and 4% doesn't sound like a lot. But, that's your electric bill. That's your cable. Could be a car payment, with some houses, depending on the amount of the loan size. So it's really something that, we're trying to educate our buyers on. It's still a great time to buy, because the fact is that house is going to be worth considerably more down the road still.
Right.
Especially
just inflation
here
alone.
Here in Florida, everybody wants to own property. Yeah. Everybody wants to move here. We're nationwide, but we lend in the state of Florida primarily, and we see a lot of our buyers are from out of state, from New York, California, Texas. They're able to work from home, and they don't want to shovel snow. So,
I'm even seeing from larger metropolitan areas, because technically Ocala is Ocala Metro. Technically, we are a metro. But yeah, some of those, like Orlando, Tampa, Miami, definitely Miami. We were just talking about how you can get so much more bang for your buck in Ocala than in those markets. So, I mean, are you seeing people applying for loans in those markets, or are they primarily selling their houses and then using cash, or what are you really seeing with those?
It's a little bit of everything. But we do see a lot of people that, if they still want to stay in the state of Florida and they're down south, and they could, maybe they bought that house for, $200,000 and they're going to sell it for $800,000.
Well, that's a nice profit.
And it does happen. They could have bought it 20 years ago. They might be ready to retire. They want to be in a less hustle and bustle. Move to Ocala, which is definitely, there's some hustle and bustle coming. But as far as being outer skirts, we've got a great county here. Marion County is huge. They get a little bit more space, and they have the option to pay cash, or if they want to finance it, they can. We offer delayed financing. So that's another thing, that if you have somebody that has cash, they can put a cash offer in, and we can do a cash out immediately within those 60 days to where they get 80% of that money back. Typically with a cash out refinance, you have to wait 6 months of ownership of the property, but we can use that same appraisal. And we can use an appraisal, do it after they pay cash for the house, close the deal, everybody's happy, and then get some of that money back.
Wow, that's actually, have you been doing a lot of that? It just depends on the situation.
Yeah, cash buyers, it's good to have options. We've done them before. There's not a lot of it, because there was more of that when the rates were 2, 3, 4%.
Yeah.
It really depends on what the buyer's needs are, where they are at. Sometimes when they move up here, they don't want to have any payments. They want to just live scot-free and not have to worry about anything.
Well, as Dave Ramsey always says, the grass feels differently when you actually own it and you don't have a mortgage payment. No offense to the lending industry, but if I had my druthers, I would rather not have a mortgage payment. But if you have to have a mortgage payment, or if that's the best interest for you and your family to purchase a home as opposed to renting, do it. Absolutely do it, because every single time it's better. It's better for you, it's better for your family, it's more stability. It's much less risk. The statistics are that almost 50% of our tenants will never own their own home, and we really want to change that. Not for me, because I honestly will make money either way. We do have property management, we have sales, but it's better for the community, it's better for families, it's better for them to own a home, because it can change you for generations. So however you have to do that, I would recommend it. But
yeah, there's multiple benefits. Every payment you make is paying down a principal. At the end of the year, you'll have a bit of a tax write-off on the mortgage interest that you've paid your mortgage lender. So those things, there's multiple things that can help, and you own it. If you want to make changes to it, you want to throw some new carpet in there or change the flooring, or
own a couple pit bulls. Yeah, that doesn't happen over in property management normally. So I know that's like, everybody's like, no, don't talk about that, but it's true. Pet policy is rather stringent, because it's a huge risk for the landlord.
Yep.
And it's a huge risk for the insurance companies, and insurance companies are brutal to homeowners right now. So with reason, but still. So yeah, if you want 2 dogs and a cat, probably not going to happen while renting, because it's just too many pets. They're just not going to take the risk, and if they do take the risk, it's going to be really expensive. So when you own the home, do as you like.
Yep.
It's your house, it's your home, you own it. So
grab a can of paint a wall.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know black accent walls are really big right now, and I'm like, no.
Only if you want. In my house, it would be a nap room.
It would be a what?
A nap room.
Oh, wow.
Get it dark, and good place to take a nap.
Yes, because you, I don't know if you want to share with them
sure.
or not, but your home, they keep you busy.
Yeah, we stay busy, and by we I mean my wife. We have
credit where it's due, huh?
I have 6 children. My wife has 7. I'm her 7th child.
Oh.
So we have 6 great kids, all the way from 3 to 9 years old.
Wow.
A lot of different things going on. 4 beautiful daughters, 2 handsome sons. I've
seen pictures. They really are adorable.
I always joke around. They don't have my genes, so they're always going to be beautiful.
Oh. So yeah, we were talking about about some of the programs that are available here. It was really interesting. So maybe I'll have you on to talk about those a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it was very interesting, and definitely stuff that I didn't know about Ocala. I find out new stuff about Ocala all the time. I mean, it really is an amazing place to live. There's so much for kids and for families here, and it used to be this was like the place that you go to retire, and it was a lot of retirement, but now it's really more for families, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think we still have a lot for the retirement community, but so much for families.
Well, you're even seeing places like on top of the world starting to expand, going from that 55 plus into now opening up Calessa to where they have there is no age range, age limit as far as those are family developments, putting schools in, and it's just
gonna be an amazing school. I mean, not to get off topic, we're not really going for a topic today. I was like, just come on, talk about yourself, it's fine. But yeah, Calessa, I mean, their school is supposed to open up this fall. And I mean, it looks absolutely amazing. If you go over to the FAST, the Florida Aquatic and Swim Training Center, it's right over by that. That school is amazing. You can already see how they're really, leaning more towards outdoor activities, which I think a lot of the public schools have kind of left behind. It's more of this, okay, we're required to give you a recess, or we're required to give you this time outside, but then you're going to come back in here and sit down, and they're not doing that. It's more of an open space and a very different concept, so it should be interesting.
Not sparing any dollars either.
No,
it's a beautiful facility.
No. Well, yeah, I mean, the pool, I can't even call it a pool. I don't really want to call it a pool because it's not really, but yeah, that was what, $30 million they put into that. So yeah, it's going to be amazing. So if you are looking into Calessa, let me know. They are building 5,000 houses?
5,500 new homes.
5,500,
yep.
Yeah.
And there's only about 100 in the ground.
Yeah, and you're one of the preferred lenders, aren't you?
We are one of the preferred lenders, yep. So you get that 3% towards closing costs, a little bit of help there.
That definitely helps.
Yep. Yeah, we've had a great partnership with them, and I know you guys work with them quite a bit.
Yes. Quite a few. I think we actually had a closing last week over there, so I'll have to check and see how the closing went and everything. But yeah, it's some of the original, before it was just basically dirt on the ground, and we were talking about how amazing this place was going to be. They got in at that point, and yeah, they were telling us they haven't even closed yet. I talked to them a couple weeks ago. Hadn't even closed yet, and almost had $100,000 in equity in their home.
Yeah,
so,
we're seeing a lot of that.
Yeah, now that there's no longer just dirt.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. So tell everyone how to get in touch with you if they were wanting to get a home loan, or if they just had questions. You guys are so great about answering questions.
Yeah. In order to get in contact with myself, it's Jeff Hill at Union Home Mortgage, jhill@uhm.com. You can call or text me. My personal number is 352-502-6504. And we, one of the things that we focus on is, we understand that your busy time is on the weekends and in the evenings sometimes. So don't hesitate to give us a call after. We're not the 9 to 5 lenders. So, if you have a question at 6 o'clock on a Saturday, give us a ring. Shoot us a text.
They were even doing pre-qualifications on 4th of July. Like, I couldn't get a hold of anybody on 4th of July weekend, but they were still doing it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we've got a great group. Myself, David Drozdowski, Mike Zizek, Pepper Kinzer, John Celebrate. We're a great team. So if you can't get one of, if say I don't pick up, dial the next number, or I'll forward it. I'll always
down the list.
I'll always respond though. If you shoot me a text, if I have my phone in front of me, you can guarantee a response.
Yeah, that is awesome. That really is awesome. Well, let's talk about what is going on in the market this week. Oops, my computer screen locked. You guys didn't know that? Okay. So this week, kind of interesting as far as the last 7 days. We were kind of talking about it because we were thinking maybe it was because of the holiday weekend last weekend. So we probably had some just interesting skewed numbers, but I think you can get a pretty good overall view from these numbers either way. We had 238 new listings hit the market, which is about average for the last couple months. 22 price increases, okay. 247 price decreases. Y'all, seriously. We don't have that many houses sitting on the market. So, and these are most likely not the houses that just hit the market. So of the few hundred that we have on the market currently, 247 of them reduced their price. So, I mean, I think that's a big indicator, a huge indicator as to what the sellers are feeling, what the buyers are doing, and what the market is doing, really. As far as sold, we had 159 closed sold houses. And then we also had 208 pending. 208 going pending, that's almost the same amount as came on the market. So things are still selling.
Yep.
So kind of interesting as far as what's going on. Because we had a month ending and a new one beginning, we had 27 canceled contracts. I think that's why they went canceled. It might have been they just kind of walked away, because normally you'll see that as expired, but we only had 7 expired. So we actually had 27 canceled contracts. Okay, so of those, I mean, is that basically what you're seeing as well? I mean, those reductions in prices, or what's really hitting you guys?
It's starting to cool a little bit. It's just giving more financing buyers a better opportunity. I think there's still cash buyers out there. I mean, there's still a lot of that, but with the interest rates increasing, I think that's slowing it down a little bit. As far as the pricing goes, because affordability is unfortunately it's at an all-time low. As far as
that's true.
With what people are making versus the market and how expensive these homes are, and then you tack on the increase in interest rates. I mean, it's getting harder and harder. So I think we're definitely going to see homes start to level out a little bit more. I don't think they're going to start going down. I just think I think the average, it's just going to slow down as far as how it appreciates.
More people are wanting to negotiate. They're a little more open to negotiation. I think that rate in itself is huge, because it was absolutely a hardcore seller's market. And
just take a number. Just stand in line and here's your offer and see what happens.
Sometimes it was almost impossible for us to even get a showing. We'd be like, this house just hit the market, and then just the entire screen would be, we're full up on showings, and it's like, well, can we, could we possibly, well, you can see one by Thursday, but we've already got 3 cash offers. So I'm like, give me a chance. But
and I mean,
it's crazy.
And that's why it's a big deal with working with the right lender. We have our great programs to where you can go ahead and get your file completely underwritten, and if we need to close it in under 20 days or 18 days, we can make it happen. If there's an appraisal waiver, 15 days is pretty doable. All we're really waiting on is just for the title work and for insurance on the property.
We definitely, as realtors, and especially when we have the listing, I'm telling you right now, who you choose as your lender, as your lending partner through the whole process is key. It is absolutely key. So I can tell you, from our own experience, that some of those where you just went online and you don't have a person and it's some national, not to drop any names, type thing, is not going to have the same effect as a local person that has already done their due diligence and is going to get the job done and actually get it closed. Those are it might be completely the same offer, exactly the same offer, but just having that local lender is more likely to get accepted. Way more likely. If you have a pre-approval versus a pre-qualification, honestly, I would probably still take a pre-qualification from you than a pre-approval from some online no-name, thing that probably isn't going to get it through.
We'll go the extra step
It's
sometimes.
crazy.
And, we'll go ahead and call the listing agent and just have a conversation and say, hey,
That's awesome.
our buyers are solid,
Because you see it all. You know if it's going to go through or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's, there's some that can be flaky, but it's not going to be a pre-approval then. We're going to wait until we're not going to issue a pre-approval or even a pre-qualification if we don't feel like it's 100% going to close.
Right.
It's just one of those things that, obviously anything can happen in somebody's life. You could have two people borrowing and one passes away, or, you lose a job, especially during there were times during the pandemic where, I remember, where there was a buyer that got to closing to sign the paperwork. They did the verification of employment because they do that within 3 days of closing for a second verification to make sure he's still employed. And they got notification that that person was no longer employed, and they found out from the title agent that they had lost their job and not their employer. Stuff like that is, unfortunately,
oh my goodness.
Unfortunately, you can't prepare for that stuff. But
can you imagine finding out you're not only no longer employed, but you also are not going to get this home? And you find this out from the title agent. That's not a good company to work for. Sorry.
Well, it was just during the pandemic there was a lot of layoffs and it was quick and there it's sad.
Yeah, but to tell the title agent before they told you. I mean, that's oh no, that's not good. That's not good.
And on the more colorful side, we close them all. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on is never having to ask for an extension. That's important, for everybody involved. You've got people that are selling a house to go buy another house. Last thing they need to do is push back all their closing, all their, their furniture delivery, their delivery for their goods from their home. So it's so important to get as much information up front, talk to them on the phone, get all their documents, have a real conversation. That's like you say, the big ones that, it's just a call center and somebody's just filling out an app and they get a pre-approval letter and they didn't even talk to anybody.
We've definitely seen it.
It can work out, but you're flipping a coin.
And that's it. And unfortunately, there's just, in this market, it still is, I'm going to say it still is a seller's market. I think it's leveling it out, so it's more of a, more even, at least. I can't say it's a buyer's market, but I think it's a little more even. But a seller still has choices, especially if they're willing to do a price reduction, which obviously quite a few of them are. They have so much in equity in their home that they can afford to go ahead and do a price reduction on their home. But yeah, if they have a choice of 3 different offers or whatever, because people are still buying right now, having that lender that's spot on, that and trust, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. Plus, you can call somebody. I like being able to go and find someone. Like, I want to be able to go to their desk and show up if needed. You can't do that when you have the online lenders. I don't know. Don't ignore my phone calls. It won't work very well for you. I'll sit in the office and stare at you. It's okay. We've all done it. Is it just me? So sometimes. But having that relationship and that ability and stuff, it's different. For online, not so much. They don't. What do they care? You're not going to show up. You don't even know where they're at. So it's just crazy. Or you get hopped around to different phones, and it's just a pain. So. Not to get on that track too bad. You're sitting here going, come on, no bashing. But it really is. It's huge. It's key to have a local lender that you trust.
We have a lot of great lenders. I mean, obviously we want all the business, but our community has a lot of great lenders. But work with somebody local, somebody that you can meet with, somebody that you can talk to, somebody that's in the same time zone.
I think that quality of service is there too. I mean, if somebody calls up and they don't get approved, and I mean, it happens, right? you're not going to tell them, heck no, no, just no. You're going to like work with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is huge. The anonymity kind of behind the computer screen is probably why those national online companies are even getting business. But at the same time, it has another side to it as well, where you're not going to get that level of service that you maybe need. Well, great, you were told no, but what do you need to do in order to get to a yes? It might be something simple. I mean, very simple. So if there's any way to...
Sorry.
It's okay. You need water?
I'm good.
Okay. So if there's any way that that they're going to get to a yes, they need to talk to somebody and get through those questions, right?
Well, yeah, especially, yeah. And the thing is find out, even if you don't work with us and you work with the lender, find out why. Ask the question, why am I not pre-approved? Don't just, because, the thing is, there could be something that even they missed. Always have a second look. It's one of those things that could be just as simple as a missed checkbox. That's
really?
one of the, yeah. I mean, it's, the underwriting systems with Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, for FHA and VA and USDA loans, they're it's a computer generated automated underwriting. And that's how we get the initial pre-approval. So if you miss a box or check something or it misreads what was input, then it will automatically give a denial. But so always ask why. That's the biggest thing. And
can you imagine that? I mean, that will literally change your life because somebody missed a check mark.
Well, I've got a perfect deal going right now where somebody wasn't able to get the client taken care of, and it's also asking the right questions, making sure your lender's asking the right questions. Got a gentleman that's moving down from New York, and he's looking for a job down here. Doesn't have one, but he has somebody that's willing to be a non-occupying co-borrower. They're still a primary residence. They can still do 3% down as a primary residence, even though they have no income, and their co-borrower isn't going to live in the house. They still qualify as a first-time home buyer.
Wow.
And that's something that not all lenders or people
I've never even heard of that. So yeah, that's amazing.
So it's one of those things that it's not just the check boxes. It's if they've seen it before, it's easy to see to recognize it, I guess.
So it's the level of experience as well.
Yeah, it's just trial by fire, right? It's one
true.
of those. It's you don't know until it's happened to you, really, unless you want to spend 7 days reading through all the guidelines that a lot of it. And they change it. It seems like they change every month. There's always something getting updated. But working with somebody that's experienced, that has your best interest, that's a big deal.
It really is. I mean, I really can't say enough about working with somebody hand in hand. I mean, it's just, yeah, the anonymity behind the screen is awesome. It might be a great place to get started. There's a very popular website for real estate. It starts with a Z. It shall not be named, but
rhymes with pillow.
But and it kind of realtors have a love-hate relationship with it because it is a fantastic website to get started, to see what's out there and what you can afford. For that reason, I absolutely love it. It is great. It's very user-friendly. It's very easy to use their search and stuff like that. But once you get into the actual process and you're actually like picking your actual home, that's where it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible because the information is delayed. Mm-hmm. We're talking about a good 24 to 48 hours, and you wouldn't think that's that long. But if you're just seeing it at that point, and by the time you schedule an appointment to go see the house, and by the time you get an offer written, it's already a week out. Everybody else that had seen, all of that stuff already through their realtor, it's ancient history. So it really is not good for that.
It's a great tool.
It is. It's a very good
tool. Just not a great gauge all the time.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we as lenders, that's what we think about, like Credit Karma, right? Credit Karma is a great tool.
It is.
But it's usually not a great gauge. The credit scores can be 100 points in either direction.
That's a lot.
But it's a great tool to be able to see what's on your credit, what's being dinged, what's being opened,
Right.
What's being reflected on your credit reports.
Right.
But when it comes to the scoring, they can be close, but it can be way off.
Well, I think it's
kind of like as estimate.
Yeah. I mean,
those,
not so much. It's a good thing to get started with. We'll go with that. But yeah, actually talking to a realtor and getting an actual CMA with their actual neighborhood instead of the 55 plus community back behind your house. Yeah, that maybe not so much. But I mean, it's like, if you have an actual toolkit, a wrench is a fantastic thing unless you need a hammer. Right. It's not so helpful. So it's just using the tools in the right way for the right thing is huge. So those online tools are great for certain things, but after a while, you really need to get that local service and that local person. So even if you don't use me, even if you don't use Jeff here, definitely talk to somebody locally that's going to actually work hand in hand with you, arm in arm, and give that education, that knowledge, and that experience. And, those are the people that you want to work with. Those are the people that I bring on the show and encourage you to work with. All right.
Don't be afraid to get a second look.
Yes, definitely. Because you guys do those all the time, right?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't know that, they're afraid of getting their credit pulled multiple times. Well, the great thing with the bureaus, they allow you to get your credit pulled. You have a 45-day window. So if you could have your credit pulled by 3-4 different lenders, their scoring should be the same, and it's not going to keep dinging your scores. It's just going to show as inquiries on the credit report, but it's not going to affect your scores anymore. So if you have one lender that, maybe the fees look a little bit high and you're not sure, don't be afraid to reach out to us or another person and say, hey, can you take another look at it? Because the more information you have, the better decision that you can make on your own.
Absolutely. Yeah. We always offer more, not that I don't love working with you guys, but we offer multiple lenders, because in different situations you need, different lenders, and some of their fees may be different or their abilities may be different. So having the buyers shop around is what we always encourage them to do, always. But even the second look is fantastic.
And us as lenders, we I have great relationships with other lenders in the area that if there's something that we're not able to do and I know that they can take care of it, then we'll be able to give, Deanna's a perfect example.
Yes, we love Deanna.
She's awesome.
She's over at a guaranteed rate. She's great.
We had suspended our bank statement programs just because what's going on in the market. I don't know if you saw that Sprout just folded up last week and closed their doors with no notice. They're a big non-QM lender, which is those bank statement programs. Those, whether it's foreign nationals, stuff like that. So, it's one of those things that they took the risk off the table for us. But she closed one of my referrals 2 weeks ago.
That's awesome.
And, we work side by side. As long as you're working with the right people, there's right people at different companies.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. All right, let's talk about Ocala, Marion County. Talk about the fun stuff going on. I know you guys are always waiting for that. We have all sorts of stuff. We have the Ocala Downtown Market, of course, on Saturdays, and that is from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you have not gone down to the Downtown Market, you absolutely have to go. It is so much fun. It's so many vendors and so many different kinds of vendors. It's a really good time. So they've got fresh produce, they've got food trucks, live music. They've got a lot of different live music. There's kind of people that are doing live music all over the place. It's pet friendly, it's kid friendly. There's a playground outside, but they have arts and crafts and all sorts of stuff. So definitely stop on out over there. We still have got the summer kids film festival going on over at Marion Theater. It's only $3 for a ticket, and it includes the kids combo. So I mean,
that's only $18 for me. Heck yeah! Sign me up.
Do you have to times everything by 6, right? It's
Yep.
like, oh, brutal. I can't imagine what Disney would cost.
It was.
It was like, yeah, it was brutal.
I had to refinance.
No. You know the best thing about Disney, and they do not share this, but you can actually take food in the park. So back when I was a single mom, of a toddler, I went to Disney many, many times because, you know, we didn't have to do, you know, anything really expensive. It was great. And they even had opportunities to go for free. And then, you know, Lexi was under the certain age. I think it's 2 and under or 3 and under is free. So
3, yeah.
yeah, so I would do peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and that's what we were doing. I'd, you know, all the little snacks and stuff, and I would just take it right in, and they never gave me an issue about it. And what was crazy is later I was doing really well in real estate, and I was doing 2 jobs, and I was working it, and I was like, I am going to splurge. I am going to buy our meal at Disney. It was like a really big deal. Do you know what that little turkey ordered? She ordered a $7 peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
And it wasn't as good as yours.
It was probably not. It was Uncrustable. I was like, really? So yeah, just heads up. I could do Disney on a very tight budget, but we have we have over at Regal Cinemas. We've got $2 movie tickets. So you know it might be only $12 if you go over there. So just saying. And they actually have the Minions: The Rise of Gru, which my kids said was a great movie. So, and my kids were older even. So, we've got the aquatic fun centers. They're open. Check to make sure they're open because they are having a shortage of lifeguards. So their hours of operation might be a little bit different than what's posted online. So just call them and make sure that they're open.
We did an event with them about a month ago.
Really?
We had 80 kids. It was awesome. The lifeguards were great. Everything was spotless, super clean. Kids had a ton of fun.
Which one did you go to? Did you go to Jervey Gant or Hampton?
Jervey Gant.
I love Jervey Gant.
Yeah, it was a blast. You know, and you know they've got food and refreshments there if you want something. And another thing is they have a speaker system, so if you have a party, you can actually Bluetooth whatever music you want if they let you.
I did not know that. Mm-hmm. That is awesome. That is really awesome. 80 kids.
That way you don't need to bring a DJ.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I listen to Pandora, and there's like this station called Happy Radio. I love it. It's always just really upbeat, happy music. It's great. But yes, we have Jervey Gant and we have the Hampton Aquatic Center. Splash pads. We have splash pads kind of tucked all over the place, but those are free. And I don't know about you, but like my kids, especially when they were little, they had a blast in the splash pads. I mean, you hit the button, sit back, relax, and they just go wild, and then they conk out in the car. It's the best ever. So, you know, if you want to go and do that, go for it. All the splash pads are open right now. We have the 2022 American Ranch Horse Association World Show. That's, of course, at the World Equestrian Center. That is July 14th to the 23rd. And they're going to be doing awards. There's going to be food and drinks. There's all sorts of stuff. I'm sure it's on the World Equestrian Center website. Did you know that World Equestrian Center got a TikTok channel now? I don't know. Is it called a channel? Yeah.
I'll have to add that to my list.
Right? Yeah. So, yeah, you got to follow them. But they are now on TikTok. It's really cool. They've also got Ride Now Power Sports of Ocala is doing a back to school bash. That is this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it's basically for just any of the kiddos in Marion County. So you can bring out the family to music, face painting, food trucks, and the donations. The money is going to be raised for Kimberly Center for Child Protection. So
great organization.
Really, really good. We're really fortunate to have them here in Marion County. So definitely check that out. And last but not least, we're going to talk about some of the summer camps that are still going on. Okay, so if you want to go to the Appleton Museum of Art, the summer art camp is back up. The weeks coming up are for July 18th through the 22nd, and then July 25th through the 29th. And for 1 week camp, it's $130 for members. For non-members, it's only $150. And then if you want to do 2 weeks of the camp, it's $210 for members and $245 for non-members. So you get a little discount there. But yeah, the camp tuition includes a daily snack and water. So ages 4 and up, that's really, I mean, if you've got the little artists coming up, that might be a great one for them to do. Graceway Academy has a summer camp that's now through July 28th, and that is Monday through Thursday, 8:30 a.m. to 1:45 p.m. Early care is available on that one. We have Picasso's Palette, which my daughter absolutely loves. They are doing a summer camp now through August 5th. So definitely check that out. They're very centrally located too. They're over on Southwest 17th Street. So check out Picasso's Palette for that one.
A lot of fun there.
Right? I mean, I've never had a kid not love Picasso's Palette. So 7 years and up, and half day is only $39, full day is $70. So they'll have a blast with that. A few more coming up is Balcony Summer Camp. They have now until August 5th, and that's 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. So they're really doing full day, and your kid is going to be tired because that's going to be gymnastics in there. That's ages 5 through 12. So lots of different stuff. They got gymnastics, cheerleading, dance, karate classes, all sorts of stuff going on. That's only $170 per week or $45 per day. So really, really inexpensive opportunity there. Discovery Center, I love the Discovery Center. I absolutely love it. I love their date nights. Have you ever done one of those date nights?
Haven't yet.
Oh my goodness, it's hilarious.
Might now though.
Yeah. About once a month they have a night where it's 18 and older only. They have wine and beer and stuff. It's just hilarious. It's so much fun. The games and stuff, it's just great. Last time I got to hold a tarantula, it was pretty cool. Campers are
Our definitions of pretty cool or different. I can 100% assure you of that. Yes.
Yeah, I wanted nothing to do with the hissing cockroach. I was like, no. But the tarantula was cool. Campers are ages 7 through 12. No, they don't get to hold the tarantula. Sorry, that was only an adult thing. But they have Spy Science, and they've got awesome artists. That's 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's $115 per week for members, $130 per week for non-members. And then finally, last but not least, we have Frank DeLuca YMCA Summer Camps. That is going to be a lot of outdoor activities. They're going to wear themselves out. It's 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's $135 per week, or $210 for non-member per week. And it's they actually have extended care as well from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. So that one is definitely something that you might want to consider, because if your kids are telling you they're bored, you can either tell them to go do chores, which is what I do, or you can take them do a summer camp or something, even just for a few days, just to kind of like get your sanity back. Maybe, I don't know. Your wife was 6. That's a lot of kids. That is a lot of kids, man.
A lot of kids, a lot of fun.
I bet.
It's
you got like
never dull.
Yeah, half a basketball team, right? Is that right? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Half a football team.
Half a football team. There we go.
Yeah. Basketball.
Yeah.
They got some growing to do.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm gonna get the net down for them or something.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate you being on here.
Thanks for having me.
If you
Appreciate
guys
it.
have any questions, we'll go ahead and put his contact information down in the description below. And of course, if you have any questions for us, comments, concerns, or otherwise, please let us know. It's all our contact information is in the description below as well. Or you can go ahead and send me an email at GER.ExpectMore@gmail.com. And please, if I have been at all helpful or entertaining or educational or just bizarre, feel free to subscribe and go ahead and share this with others so they can subscribe. We have a fantastic video coming up of me flying a plane here locally and all of the ins and outs of that if you want to try it yourself, but we are not releasing it until we have 3,000 subscribers, so we're going to use that to celebrate. You guys have a great day and a great week, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Thanks.
At Great Expectations Realty, we believe that you should expect more from your real estate experience. When you hire a realtor to sell your home, you should expect experienced advice on staging your home, professional photography, aerial photos, virtual video tours, and a national presence online to advertise your home to the largest pool of buyers. Your realtor should communicate from start to finish, and always remember this is your home. You are in the driver's seat. Call Great Expectations Realty at 352-817-9160 or go online to greatexpectationsrealty.com to get your free analysis of your home's market price. Great Expectations Realty. Expect more from real estate.